So here we are on this wonderful winter day in our matching coats. I know we didn't plan that, but here we are.
The coats of the future.
The coats of the future, yes. This is a coat that Uri was wearing last winter, and I just loved the style so much. I went with him almost immediately to the same store and probably got the last one, which is slightly too small for me, but I had to get it.
But you look perfect in it.
Thank you. So tell me about the new work you have in this exhibition coming up in collaboration with The Untitled and Art Times Puzzle. What do you have in the exhibition?
When I saw the last wave of the NFT artworks that came about in the last 2 years, especially in the last year, where things are more in the spirit of art, which is born out of the whole concept of meme, which is basically art with a very short lifespan, which is between 5 seconds to 30 seconds. It reminds me a lot of the time that when I used to start doing commercial art, mainly in animation, in 3D, where we used to make what's called in-your-face commercials, which was based on a 50 seconds kind of piece, which was supposed to kind of capture you and make you buy whatever you do. So basically the concept didn't change, just the intent is not so commercial, but more of an NFT kind of thing, more artsy. So I know the language and I feel very familiar and comfortable of animating something in the span life of between 3 seconds to 15 seconds to 30 seconds, because it has kind of a duration and you can really nicely animate it and control the space and choreograph the objects in the space.
Well, I wanted to ask, so where are you getting your inspiration from? For example, the 3 works in the exhibition, Last Man Standing, for example. How did you come up with that?
Oh, this is all like, where I start is I always start in 2-dimensional photography. This is the base, departure point. It's the word duplicated, brought into digital, been digitized, and then from there I bring it into, again, like pseudo three-dimensional space. So I think the inspiration is the word again. It's photography or paint. In one case, it's my paintings, but it's mainly photography. And photography is like painting, is an inspiration for what we see. So it's based on reality that is brought into 3D, which is then brought into NFT and have its own kind of life from there on.
So this new medium, it builds off of the work you've been doing in new media for the last 40 years or something like that. But it's somehow catapulting, I guess, your career to the next level. For example, one guy mentioned in the past that this new media has given life to a bunch of artists that weren't necessarily recognized in the contemporary art world, the conventional art world.
Right. Well, that thing that we see today is a result of what started to happen in the beginning of the 80s, when people start doing art based on technology-based art, or whatever you want to call it, where the driving force was basically technology, whether it was art, it was code, whether it was graphic boards, whether it was like any kind of 3D software and engineering. So it was there, but it was parallel to the art world. It really didn't bite into it. I think with the introduction of NFT, the ability to really commercialize on technology-based art, things have changed. And people that have been doing that for the last 20 or 30 years have suddenly a new venue and a new friend in the art world, which we didn't have before. Well, I mean, it was up and down, but it wasn't really serious.
It wasn't consistent, right?
Right. It was like, oh, there's a phenomenon. And that was it. It was lasted about 3 or 4 years with insignificant artists that kind of just didn't leave any trace in history, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Now it's different. Now we have hundreds of thousands of artists which are making a huge impact on the art world. It's kind of knocking on the door. And that knock is almost going to, in some cases do open the door in Christie's and Sotheby's and other places, and in art fairs, and it is a small revolution. I don't know if it's a big one, but it's definitely after 30 years of trying, it becomes really mainstream.
Yeah, well, I think
And
also...
it's probably thanks to a capitalistic system that fall into place with all the NFTs and
And the development of the tech world in some ways catching up to the work that had been done before. I mean, all the tech guys who weren't necessarily buying art before, now they're into this stuff because they kind of understand the language.
Right. That's absolutely right. I think that people who are involved in tech, who are involved in crypto, who understand that the virtual is way more interesting than
Reality.
the reality. Then they happily buy and collect digital art because they see the added value in it.
Yes. Well, I look forward to the reception of this new body of work from you.
Thank you.
And look forward to the whole coming revolution. I've always been described as subversive by the contemporary art world. So I definitely support every new medium that creates some new discussion and a new level of art. Thank you for coming, and enjoy the winter.
Thank you. You want to do it again?